So we are now here on our performance task number 4, no, ladies and gentlemen. And the performance task number 4 is the tallest and strongest structure. And that's the one that we are going to build, no, or construct as a group. So there are 6 that I assign in every group. If the group cannot hold or cannot have 6, then the 5 members there, no, will simply regroup or try to do double tasking to be able to complete the groupings or the assignment, the role assignments, I mean. No? Now let's have this one again. No? So this is our pictures. No? These are actual structures. No? These are tower. And people actually live in these structures. There are some very tall structures that are made, no, and these are not designed, no, for people to live in or to stay in. No? They are simply built, no, and they are used for different function, but there are no people there, and these are still very very tall structures. No? But this one, no, is kind of unique because you can actually stay here. I think in the olden days, no, this is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and this is an engineering wonder also, no? But maybe there's a little faulty design here that causes the building there to tilt. But we heard a lot of that, no, in experiments made by some famous scientists, no, that they do it here. Now the one in the middle, this is the one that I saw personally, no? So the Petronas Tower, no, in Kuala Lumpur. So I don't know, no, what was that year that I saw this. And again, the Eiffel Tower, I have not seen this, no, so I'm still looking for a time, no, to see that. Now, these towers are measured, no, by some heights, no, and here are their recorded heights. Now, it's not really much, no, the Leaning Tower, it's only 55 meters, 55.86 meters, no, and at one time, no, the Petronas Tower, the one that we saw in the middle, to be one of the tallest structure, man-made structure, no, at 451.9 meters, no. And the Eiffel Tower is, of course, no, not really the tallest, but it's also, no, one of the amazing features and a really good tourist attraction. No? So tallest structures, no. Now there are also structures that may also not actually have people in it, no? Like the Petronios. No? This is an oil platform, I think, no? One of the tallest structure, but what I know, no, is that wala na datang tao, no? There's no individual there. But the Burj Khalifa is, of course, no, a structure that has individuals there. No? That's probably a hotel. No? And again, now the design of these tallest structures, no, they have to withstand strong winds, no. And if you look at their body structure, no, the contours of the building are purposely not designed to divert, no, this wind, no, that may probably go into or strike into the building, no. Now, if you read on the architectures of how the Burj Khalifa is created, no, again, being a very very tall building. Engineers have to think of a way how to diffuse or divert the wind that strikes the surface of the Burj Khalifa because of its height. So not only will it have to support its weight, it has to support the wind or to be able to counter the wind that is coming from every sorts of direction. Now that wind will probably increase or will become stronger when there's a cyclone or a typhoon. Now again, the objective of the activity is, of course, to construct, to design and construct the tallest and the strongest structure using the available prescribed materials given to you, and it has to stand on its own. There must be no tape below it. There must be no other weights there, masses. It has to stand on its own. So there's no thing that will anchor, that will be used to anchor it on the ground. So it has to stand on its own. So that's the thing. Tallest, strongest structure that can stand on its own. Now here's the role assignments. There are 6 of you. So you can research on how you can work on this, which is very similar to the tasking that we give on our previous performance task. And again, you can elaborate more. No? I was really amazed, no, in one group when they presented, no, the theoretical engineer presented a theory, no, and it was really fascinating, no, during the first performance task that we have, no, or the first quarter performance task on Mission Impossible. No? So again, you can use some sciences, no, real good sciences there, no, when you explain your theory, no, why you do this and do those things. No? So again, these are the 6 engineers that you have to assign, no? And of course, the disaster and risk management, no? Which at the end of the activity, no, could also point out, no, how those discarded papers were eliminated, no? How did you do that, no? And so on and so forth. Now, is recycling possible, no, after the activity, no? So again, no, the essence of also, no, applying, no, science, no, on its usefulness on the environment. No? So di man pwedeng after the activity you will just be neglectful of the waste materials that were created by our work. No? So again, these are the things that you have to meet. And here's the allowed materials na pwede lang ninyo magamit. No? You can have as many bond papers, no, that you could have. No? So there's no limit to this one. No? So short size, long size, no, as long as they are not used, they are not new bond papers, no, you can gather them, no, as many as you could. No? And then, however, no, the one that has a limited length is the masking tape. No? The masking tape should only be 1 inch in width, no? And the length, no, that you are going to get, no, is only 1 meter long. You will not use this whole tape here, no? But you will only cut and use 1 meter long. Now with those 2 materials, those are your only materials, no, to be used in creating or building your tallest structure. No? Now the procedure, here is our procedure, no, that you are going to do. And again, no, the end goal there is for you, no, to have, no, tallest structure. At the end of the activity, the first thing that you do, no, after designing, after constructing your tallest structure, after documenting in every stage probably, no, either by jotting down notes or by video, no, you can measure immediately the height, the final height of the object. No? So after getting the height, then the testing will now follow. No? So I divided the testing procedure into 3, no, different challenges. And that's how we will test the strength. No? So again, make sure that you get the height of your activity. And in your class, now we will try to determine or find out, no, who has the tallest structure, no? And, no, who can withstand, no, the strongest, no, or who is the strongest among the ones that are made. No? Now the activity will be made, no, in its final form into at least into a 7-minute video. No? But make sure that it's not also very long, no, like it will exceed, no, something like more than 10 minutes. No? So maybe a little more than 10 minutes will be fine. No? But again, no, save the file in your Google Drive. No? Last time I saw some videos in YouTube. No? I think 2 or 3. No? But again, no, reminder, the requirement is that it should be uploaded, no, in your Google Drive. No? Now here's how you will be graded again, no? Similar to what we have also before. No? So teamwork again, no, is important. That's 20%. No? So the working structure, no? So how tall is it? No? How strong is it? No? Did it withstand the test? No? So maybe now that's equal to 40%. And then our science concept, no? Maybe the theoretical, the structural, the civil engineer, no, will provide the concept that we need here, no, so that, no, we will now account the whole activity to be graded equivalent to 100%. No? Now, here's the method how we test the final structure. No? So supposing we are done with the completed structure, the first challenge or the first test is made, no, by letting your completed structure stand, no, and you let it stand, no, since there are no hook, there's no bolts, there's no cable, that holds you to the ground. There's no tape. No, you will count 10 counts. No, and observe whether it will fall down. No? So that's the first test. No? Once it passes the test, then we will go to the next challenge. No? So again, the number of counts for challenge 1 or testing challenge 1 is 10 counts not to make it stand on its own. No? Again, using only the bond paper, the 1 meter long tape. No? Now, when you survive challenge 1, we can proceed to challenge 2. We will now position an electric fan. No? So you will get an electric fan, position it 2 meters away from your structure. No? Okay, so after that, no, we are going to set the lowest setting on the switch. No? Maybe number 1, amo nang pinaka-hinay-hinay ang tiyog. No? And we will now switch on our fan. No? Now, once the fan turns on, we will count again 10 counts. No? Again, the counting of the 10 counts should be in a regular 1 second interval. No? So let's say 1001, 1002, 1003 until we reach 10. No? Now, when we survive challenge 2, then we are now ready for challenge number 3. No? So challenge number 3 will be to move 1 notch ang atong switch, the switch on the electric fan. No? So 1 more setting, 1 more notch. No? Okay, so again, if you survive the 10 counts again, then you survive challenge number 3. So these are our testing method. No? So challenge 1, challenge 2, and challenge number 3. No? Now, finally, again, reminders on the final video. It must be at least 7 to 10 minutes. No? Maybe a little more than 10 minutes, but please do not exceed it to be very, very long. Now, so some suggestions on how you make your video. No? So here are some ways to divide the 7-minute, or you can also do a different method for doing that. No? So, but suggestion is this one. No? And finally, upload it in your Google Drive and attach the link in Canvas. No? And please don't forget to share it properly. No? In the last activity I saw, there was one activity that was not properly shared. No? So I have to ask permission in viewing the file. No? So basically, that's our performance task number 4. No? Again, the tallest and the strongest structure. No?